We have an email here from Tony in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Is it Big Tony?
Just Tony.
Okay.
This is just regular
He
Tony.
might be big. He might be a big Tony. We don't know.
His own
He's just identified himself as Tony from Greensboro, North Carolina. He emailed us at the email address, gamescoop@ign.com, just like you can. He says, good afternoon, Damon and everyone else at GameScoop. I love your guys' work and look forward to the show every week. My question for you is this. With the excellent reviews and strong reception that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has gotten so far for the Nintendo Switch, I was wondering what your thoughts are on whether Nintendo will duplicate the same type of success for their other huge franchise staple that many Nintendo fans are waiting on, Super Mario Odyssey. Although he may not be as heavily involved anymore with the development of the games as he used to be, I can imagine Miyamoto and his team are hard at work to bring us another memorable experience with Mario. I can't wait to play Super Mario Odyssey later this year when I get my Switch. Love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, in the trailer, we're going to find out more at E3, but it's already clearly they're going back to, we talked about, I love that we predicted this on Scoop, that Mario's going back to its more exploration-oriented, like bring the camera back down behind Mario's shoulder and more like the 64 and Sunshine, wide open spaces for Mario to explore. And we don't know that much about Odyssey, but it's moving back in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, I think people get fatigued when they see this guy, right? Because they're kind of like, he's been in so many games. There's been so many 2D games, so many 3D games. There really haven't been that many. I mean, we've got Mario 64 and Sunshine were the
only ones in that style.
We're the only ones in that style.
And like
it was
Galaxy,
full 3D.
Galaxy's dope. Like that, Galaxy's one of my favorite games of all time. But I'd much rather have this than Galaxy 3.
Yeah, Galaxy's the same way, where it's sort of like segmented areas. It's not really open world. You don't have that big like sort of castle hub or the Sunshine area hub where you're just on vacation. You can hop in at different levels. So this feels like it's doing that again. And if you think about it, in all the years we've had Mario, like 30 years now, this will only be the third game in that style. I mean, I adored 3D World. That's some of the hardest I've ever laughed playing a video game. But again, that's like
different.
It's mostly kind of locked camera, focusing on multiplayer. Even the 2D stuff, like we haven't had a real 2D Mario in a long time outside of Mario Run.
I mean, they feel
and Mario Maker.
Yeah, they feel pretty different. Like Mario, they're all platforming focused, but like Super Mario 64 didn't have any bricks in it. Didn't have any mushrooms in it. Like it was a very, very different game. And
it had bricks, but they were weird.
Well, but not really.
They didn't really do anything.
Like and Mario World was very different than 1, 2, and 3. Super Mario World was very like secret and puzzly. So I don't know. Like I feel like Mario has been very distinct and reinvented itself several times over the last 30 years.
But Odyssey, the secrets are what needs to come back in this game. Yeah. That's what I remember. I was reading the first review ever documented of Super Mario Brothers from the people that were in here to do the live stream, our Save Point live stream that are running the game history.
Stephen Lin and Frank
project.
Cifaldi. Yeah.
And they have this they had tweeted out an article which was like the first scan ever of Super Mario Brothers, and the person doesn't give it a perfect review.
Where's the review from?
It's from since nobody was reviewing Nintendo games that early for sure. It's from a local college computer journal type thing.
Yeah.
So the person says the thing they emphasize is how many secrets are in the game. It's like, oh, this is a really cool game because it's really fun to explore everything and you want to break every block and see what's in it. And that's what Zelda ended up being, is the Mario type game with they really double down on secrets and super the same thing as Breath of the Wild, right? But I like Mario games like that because it includes platforming to get to crazy stuff that's secretive. And man, the castle was the best part of Mario 64 because you can just explore that with jumping. Yeah, it's so exciting.
Yeah, and there were so many
cool stuff.
Little weird nooks and crannies, and you walked over there. There was a rabbit with a star. There was a Yoshi on the roof. Spoilers. There was
the rabbits in the basement are really interesting.
Yeah, there's little toads that you can talk to, and every now and then one of them will give you a star. Looking up at the sunshine, and then one level lets you fly.
That blew my mind.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I'm totally with you.
Yeah, discovering secrets in any game is that's my favorite thing. But Zelda's about exploration, which is different than Mario. Mario kind of explores an interior or a smaller area with cool platforming and acrobatics.
While we're here, one of the things I definitely want to see come back that was in Mario 64 along those same lines, and was originated in Mario World, was the idea of beating a level where you can hit a switch that would turn on a certain type of block throughout the entire world. Yeah, right? In Mario World, you hit the yellow blocks from that one like yellow palace, and all of a sudden they're everywhere.
the
And
three
you have a
switch
reason to go
palaces.
back to older stuff and be like, what did I change?
And find new stuff.
It's
Find
a kind of Metroidvania element.
I really want alternate exits because that was really cool in Mario World and some of the other Mario games. Being able to
Keys
like
out of there and
Yeah.
finding it all out.
Yeah, playing levels completely different. Like some of the underwater levels in Mario World, where you could just go under the level and finish it a different way. Stuff like that's
and
awesome.
the stars are kind of did that with levels, right? They're like, here's 5 ways to play in this playground.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was a great idea. Maybe it's time for something different than the 5 stars, and like to tie it.
Do you guys
the level
think that
different
this is going to feel like a reinvention on the same level that Breath of the Wild is?
way. How cool would that be?
Well, that's what I wanted to say. So when comparing Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, 2 things occur to me. Odyssey seems to be going back to a more familiar 3D Mario that we miss. Whereas Breath of the Wild is taking Zelda in a totally new direction. I don't think it's going back.
I think it went back to the first game.
Except it
Yeah, but
feels
even the
so much
physics
more
and the-
open-ended and exploratory than even the first Ocarina
think
of
so?
Time or
I
the
think
first Legend of Zelda.
I think it's exactly the same as Legend of Zelda on that level.
Well,
Just the tools are different.
except that
I get your point. I mean, it hasn't been like that since that game.
I mean, doing dungeons
So is
out
that
of
really
order and
Zelda?
stuff, like the freedom to truly go up, down, left, or right. Sure, like that's very evocative of the first game, but it is doing something new with the confidence in its physics and chemistry.
Yeah.
systems.
It's also
definitely
what
doing
it's
a lot
doing,
new.
What it's doing for open
sure.
world games, even if you just ignore anything else that Nintendo's done. Has set the bar so high. Like the ability to climb everything, everywhere, makes even going to something like Horizon, which you can't really do that.
You get stuck behind a mountain when you go back
Constantly,
to play Horizon.
constantly.
You have
I
to
mean,
run way
you feel
around.
like you're on a film set a lot of the times in Horizon because there's just a backdrop that you basically like bunny hop up, but you feel like you're faking it or glitching it.
But it looks
It
amazing.
looks really good. But I think that like if you're making an open world game now and you can't climb everything in it,
that's why,
Yeah,
So
Red Dead would be really good with climbing.
yeah.
Mario has always been about the joy of moving Mario about in that space. It always just feels good to play. And Breath of the Wild is the first Zelda game that sort of matches that feel for that franchise. I think like just the maneuverability in that game and moving Link around and the combat. It's the first time Zelda has really felt good in the same way that Mario does. Because like
That's
Link used to
really
not
true.
even be able to jump.
And his sword was terrible.
Yeah.
Like Link was like super limited in the original Legend of Zelda games, and in Zelda 2 even more so. Like it's kind of crazy. Like
Yeah.
you play Castlevania and you can like whip at least as long as your character is tall. And Zelda, you always
Like, but like now, like
it's ridiculous.
even if I'm not doing anything productive in Breath of the Wild, it's still a joy just to run around that world and explore.
Yeah.
and feel the controls.
glide into somewhere new.
Yeah.
See what's
jumping
up.
with the top button is a little bit weird.
But that
I
feeling,
got used to it real fast.
that feeling
I
you're
used to it.
describing is what I think Mario's always been fantastic
yeah,
at too, right?
Even from Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, and especially you look at something like Mario 64, you could just run in circles around that courtyard, triple jump, backflip. Like I want more acrobatics along those lines. Like Mario 64 felt like playing like what it's like to be Jackie Chan, you know? Like he's just like wall jumping and just like he's completely acrobatic. And I want that feeling of freedom back. I want like the timer gone. I don't want any of that stuff. I want the ability to be like, you put me in New Donk City, that's dumb new level that they have, which looks so much fun. And I want to be able to get up the side of a building differently than anybody else can. Because I think having those stories of Breath of the Wild, like how did you solve this puzzle? How did you do this thing? And everyone's got a different approach to it. I kind of want that in Mario.
You know, it's as freeing as the climbing is just the gliding in Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
Like I love how you can like there's a payoff for getting up really high. It's that you can see stuff that you need to get to, secret stuff, which is really cool, and then you can just beeline for it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get shot out of the sky. So sometimes
the way that
bad things happen.
But I like that you can, even if you're falling, you can just fast travel out of that situation.
The way I
And in falling?
yeah,
I didn't know that. You
anytime
just get
want, you're
zapped.
losing combat.
That's
you-
new. Like games are usually like
Yeah.
you're falling, you can't
Yeah.
fast travel.
Yeah. The way that I play the game now is I've uncovered all the towers. I have 66 shrines. It's 120 total. I pick a spot in the map where I don't have a lot of shrines, and then I go to the nearest tower, then just paraglide in that direction and see what I find. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna run out of things to do soon-ish, but I probably have 4 or 5 evenings left of being able to still just fill in sort of the corners of the map that don't have a lot of shrines unlocked.
Yeah, and every time I think I'm like, oh, I've seen all the map, I head into some corner and there's a labyrinth, or there's Eventide Island, which is one of my favorite sections in a video game.
There's
Have you guys
also-
done Eventide Island?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
haven't
also
done it
there's a
good.
canyon that I think most people just kind of paraglide over, but there's stuff down in it.
Yep,
Like
yep,
like this.
yep.
It's there's
Yeah,
layers.
sometimes the deepness of the level or the the world is so amazing because I'm like always trying to get to the top of stuff.
Yep.
And then I get to an area where there's like a big canyon. There's like all this stuff down there. I'm like, I don't know if I ever want to get down there. How am I going to get out?
Also, Ganon's castle on its own, like no matter which way I've approached that, and I haven't even beaten Ganon yet. I'm not trying to.
Just
I'm
going
taking
into
my
the
time.
castle and get
But just
stuff.
going in the castle and just sort of rummaging around the basement or going into like the servants' rooms, or it's just this huge labyrinth, and there's treasures throughout all of it,
So
and bosses
awesome.
and mini bosses you've never fought before.
It's a huge dungeon. I was
It's
really
fantastic.
surprised and impressed.
No spoilers, but you beat the game last night, did you, Justin?
Yeah, ending was great.
Awesome.
I was very satisfied. Like it's hard. Like it's a giant 100-hour adventure. Like how do you end something like that? And yeah, it was totally epic and interesting. I took 1 billion screenshots. I almost died because I was taking so many screenshots.
Just because it looked good?
Yeah, it's
that's
just
cool.
very. It's not hard. I lost 1 billion hearts, but I'm just shoving steaks in my mouth. That's fine. I didn't die once, but it's not hard. But it's very, very intimidating. It's very creepy, and the atmosphere is they really got it right.
Right.
If I had to recommend places to go next in Zelda that are not the main stuff, I'd say Mount Lanero, which is like
Yeah, that's great.
a big snowy mountain with a really cool thing at the top. Eventide Island, which is like an incredible side quest on the coast. I won't say where.
Maybe the best.
And then I love the labyrinths. I
labyrinths are
really
really
recommend
cool.
people check out the labyrinth.
I
actually
did
really love-
one, and the puzzle was very like I couldn't figure it out, and then I had that light bulb moment where I'm like, oh,
Is it the one off the tech lab that you have to glide to?
I didn't do that one yet. I did the
That
one.
one's payoff is so cool because there's an additional thing. There's
a
like
room
a
of death in
security
there.
area. Yeah, room of death. And it's really awesome.
I would recommend like one special Zelda thing. Go north of the Lost Woods. There's a little island north of the map, and a really cool thing.
There's
really
a
cool
cloud
thing.
on the map. There's a cloud, so you can't see what it is. But it's
I
really-
actually love the southern coast along the beach. There's a town down there. There's
like
a
that
bunch of
town.
like wild horses.
Underrated town down there.
There's this woman who has like an ancient guardian fetish.
Yeah, and she's
Like hugging this
the
ancient
one
guardian
with
ball.
the orb that won't let it go.
She's like, I just really love these things. Bring me pictures of them. And you're like, what's wrong with you?
Wait,
It's
that's
great.
not the jungle town. That's a different town.
She's just a lady who's just on her own because no
No, I'm
town.
just saying you're talking about a different. You're talking about a different town than the jungle one, though.
No, that's the jungle one. Yeah,
Okay.
but near there's a woman who
coastal
no town will allow live
Really?
because she's insane.
I haven't seen that yet. That's so cool.
I made it to the Master Sword last night, but then I couldn't pull it out of the stone because I didn't have enough hearts.
Like man,
That was a
such
bummer.
So basically, go everywhere and do everything because there's very few things in that game where I've been like,
More people need to get access to the game
yeah.
because it's just a landmark game. We
Nintendo
talked about
needs to
this
put
on
more
our-
Switches out there.
But I hope people can buy it this Christmas and
Yeah.
get it. It's like
I mean, it's
Or-
totally
or
going to be
Wii U.
one of those
Play
games
this
that
game.
we just talk about forever.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Really, really that.
I think
good
people are going to
and
be
important.
on that wiki, on that guide, on IGN for a very long time, finding stuff out.
It's good because Brendan Graber, rest in peace, killed himself writing that guide.
He definitely
It's
did.
just amazing guide work.